Good evening. Welcome to the 2020 Grey County Inaugural Meeting. My name is Heather Morrison, and I am the Clerk for Grey County. Please join me in welcoming Grey County CAO Kim Wingrove and the Senior Management Team. Please stand as you are able and welcome Grey County Council. You may be seated. Thank you. Before we begin the election process tonight, I would like to extend my sincere thank you to some of the staff that have been able to put this night together and have worked very hard. First of all, to Kathy Nuno. She organizes this event from start to finish. And to our maintenance staff, Randy Elder, Corey Barfoot, and Matt Childs, who have ensured that this building shines tonight. Thank you all. Tonight, Council will elect its 2020 Warden. The Municipal Act states that the head of Council is to act as the Chief Executive Officer, promote public involvement in the municipality's activities, act as a representative, and promote the municipality both within and outside of its borders. The Warden also participates and fosters activities that enhances economic, social, and environmental well-being of the municipality and its residents. As I'm sure our past wardens can attest to, the role of warden is far vaster than what is actually outlined in the legislation. In preparation for tonight, I thought I'd look back at some former inaugural speeches to see what past wardens thought about this leadership role and the qualities that it encompasses. Here are some of the qualities that they valued. The role of warden requires one to see the big picture and support the decision-making authority of council to move the county forward as a whole. The warden provides not only leadership amongst their peers, but supports teamwork that can build consensus between their colleagues. The warden should have the ability to listen to all perspectives and foster the movement of good policy through good governance. They understand that Grey County is in the people business and will advocate for the many initiatives that come forward each year. The role is an important one and will set the stage for the upcoming year. With those thoughts in mind, let's proceed to the election of the Warden for Grey County for 2020. The procedures that we will be following are set out in the county's procedural bylaw. I will begin by asking for nominations. Once nominations have concluded, I will ask each candidate their intention to run for office. Each nominator of the candidates who are going to stand for election will then be entitled to speak in support of their candidate. Each candidate who stands for election may also make a presentation to council. The procedural bylaw limits each nominator and candidate to 5 minutes. The election of the warden is by secret ballot, and in accordance with the Municipal Act, each councillor is entitled to 1 vote. For our visitors tonight, you should be aware that this is the only vote that happens here that isn't by show of hands. By virtue of our offices, the CAO and I are scrutineers, and in addition, each candidate will select a scrutineer. The scrutineer's job is to observe the process and ensure that no mistakes are made when the ballots are counted. The process is fairly straightforward if 2 people are running for office, but a bit more complicated if more than 2. The vote will be taken, and if no candidate for warden receives a majority of the votes cast, The candidate receiving the fewest number of votes will be eliminated from the next secret ballot, and the vote will be taken continuously until one candidate receives a majority of votes. In the event there is a tie for the fewest votes, there will be a second vote of the candidates that tied to determine which candidate will be eliminated from the ballot. In the event that two councillors run for office and there is a tie, I will place the names of the candidates on equal-sized pieces of paper into the ballot box. I'll then select an individual to draw one name, and that person will be declared the warden. That completes the procedures involved in the election of the warden, and I'm looking for a motion to elect the warden for a one-year term.
I move that the Warden of the County of Grey be elected for a one-year term in accordance with Grey County's procedural bylaw 5003-18 and Section 233(1) of the Municipal Act 2001.
Councillor Bartnicki. Nominations for the Warden of Grey County for the next term are now in order. Councillor.
I wish to nominate Councillor Christine Robinson.
Do I have any seconders?
I wish to nominate Paul McQueen, Councillor Paul McQueen, for the 2020 Warden.
Do I have a seconder? Are there any further nominations? Any further nominations? I'll ask one final time. Are there any further nominations? And I have a motion to close nominations, please. Councillor Keaveney, seconder. Councillor Burley, all in favor? Thank you very much. Councillor Hicks, is it your intention to stand for warden for 2020?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Councillor Robinson, is it your intention to stand for warden for 2020?
Thank you very much to my mover and seconder for the nomination. For this year, I will respectfully decline.
Okay, thank you. Councillor McQueen, is it your intention to stand for warden for 2020?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Okay. So now we will have the introduction of the candidates by their sponsors. So I will ask first the nominators for Councillor Hicks, Councillor Boddy, and then respectively Councillor Patterson to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Ms. Morrison. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. I stand before you tonight to nominate Hanover Deputy Mayor, Grey County Councillor, Selwyn Hicks, to complete his two-year term as Warden of our great county of Grey for 2019 and 2020. I wish to highlight Councillor Hicks' professional background. He attended high school at Chaminade, I probably pronounced that wrong, College, which is a Catholic boys' school. He graduated from high school at Stainer Collegiate Institute, so almost in Grey County, but not quite. He completed a social services working diploma at Centennial College. He obtained a law degree and Master's of Business Administration, an MBA, at the University of Windsor. That law degree, and especially the MBA, gives Councillor Hicks a great understanding of business operations and administration, which has been a benefit to all in Grey County. Prior to going to law school, Councillor Hicks worked as an employment counsellor at the Toronto YMCA, a youth worker at the Toronto CAS, or Children's Aid Society, a street worker at Metro Toronto Social Services, and volunteer coordinator with Youth Assisting Youth. He served as a consultant for two royal commissions, the Commission on Canada's Future, which was the Spicer Commission, and the Royal Commission on Learning. So of interest is at the Royal Commission of Learning, he was a primary staff person to a 16-year-old, Manisha Barty from Cornwall, who was the first teenager in Canadian history to be appointed to a Royal Commission. As we've seen over the past year, those experiences give Councillor Hicks an insight into the social services provided by Grey County, and he has been an asset for our staff. In 2003, Councillor Hicks and his wife Barbara moved from Toronto to Hanover, which I believe is Barbara's hometown. Together they have purchased 3 law practices and set up Hicks & Hicks Professional Corporation with offices in Hanover and Walkerton. Councillor Hicks was appointed as a child or children's lawyer by the Ontario government. He served on the Legal Aid Appeal Tribunal for Bruce County. First elected in 2006 and serving 2 terms, 8 years, as councillor for the town of Hanover, and then elected as deputy mayor in 2014 and again in 2018, and became a councillor with Grey County. While on Hanover Council, he has experience with SMART Board, so the Disability Transportation, Saugeen Municipal Airport Commission, Physician Retention and Recruitment Committee for Hanover and District Hospital, Economic Development Committee, Community Improvement Partnership Committee, Downtown Revitalization Implementation Committee, and COA Recruitment Team, plus the Launchpad Board. Here at the county level, Councillor Hicks, well, I guess Warden Hicks has been involved with every committee and has done everything. But prior to that, just as a councillor, he was in Social Services Committee, Grey County Blue Mountains Task Force, Corporate Services Committee, Non-Union Job Evaluation Committee, Building Committee, Grey Bruce Drug Strategy Leadership Table, CAO Recruitment Committee, and Tourism Advisory Committee. Councillor Hicks has gained much experience and knowledge in many facets of county business as well, and is well prepared to continue as Warden of Grey County. We have all observed over the past year he is thoughtful, respectful, and always comes prepared. So with that, I'm very honored to nominate Selwyn Hicks to continue to lead us as Warden for the coming year. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Madam Clerk, members of County Council, past wardens, CAO Kim Wingrove, department heads, staff, and guests. First, let me say that it is a special honor to be asked to place before Council for nomination as Warden the name of one of our peers. I have the greatest respect for elected officials who make the decision to offer themselves up to serve as Chief Executive Officer of the corporation and the head of County Council. The role is heavy, the hours long, and the responsibility is huge. And yet, in the years since 1852, councillors have come forward to offer their leadership to the county. And so it is that tonight I present to you for nomination the name of Selwyn Hicks, Deputy Mayor of the town of Hanover. Selwyn was born in Guyana, South America. He came to Canada at the age of 9 on a flight, his very first plane ride, that crash landed in Toronto. The front wheel of the landing gear wouldn't drop into position. In preparation for the emergency landing, foam was placed on the runway, and the memory is still vivid in Selwyn's mind today because he believed the foam was snow. There is no snow in Guyana, ever. Selwyn is one of 6 children raised by a single mother in the Jane and Finch projects in Toronto. He married Barbara 23 years ago. Barbara is a lawyer and they have 4 children. Selwyn IV, 21, Riley, who is 16, Connor is 13, and Chloe is 11. Barbara's father, Don Cahy, was a 4-time world champion archer, a point he made abundantly clear to Selwyn when he was dating Barbara. Prior to attending college, Selwyn lived on the Simcoe side of our county border on a dairy farm outside of Stayner. Selwyn's community involvement is recognized and respected. He is a coach for minor soccer and gymnastics. He is a founding member of Leaders in Action, a youth leadership program in Toronto. In his youth, he was selected to represent Canada as a delegate at an International Youth Leaders Assembly. He served as a mentor to young offenders and was a big brother to several young people. He has served on numerous boards, including the West Scarborough Neighbourhood Community Centre, Youth Assisting Youth, United Way in Toronto and Windsor, the Hanover Chamber of Commerce, the Big Brothers Big Sisters as chair, and Bruce Gray Mentorship and Bruce Gray Child and Family Services as chair. And he was appointed by the Ontario Minister of Children and Youth Services to a working group on child and family well-being to advise on reforms to the Child, Youth and Family Services Act. Selwyn also has some distinctive achievements. In 1989, he was the recipient of the Lieutenant Governor's Award of Distinction. He is the recipient of the Canada 125 Medallion, which is awarded to Canadians who have made a significant contribution to their fellow citizens, to their community, or to Canada. And he was awarded the 1992-93 Metro Toronto Citizen of the Year. Interestingly, the same year, a guy named Sam Snyderman, or Sam the Record Man, received the award. Selwyn's service in the role of warden this past year has been highly respected. As our representative of Grey at all official functions, whether here in our county, at conferences, or in meetings with ministers at Queen's Park, he demonstrates dedication, humility, and integrity. He makes us proud. And I am confident that he will build on the momentum to continue to work in the best interests of Grey County to see us prosper and grow. Therefore, it is my honor and privilege to place before you the name of Selwyn Hicks to serve as Warden of Grey County during the 2020 term. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll invite the nominators up for Councillor McQueen, Councillor Mackey, and then Councillor Desai.
Good evening, council colleagues, past wardens. Thank you for your service. County staff, honored guests. It is my privilege to nominate Councillor Paul McQueen for the position of the 2020 warden. Paul was born in Osprey, has a family farm there that has been in the McQueen family for 6 generations, so Paul's roots do run deep in Grey County. His wife, Cindy, and he have been married for 21 years, and together they have 3 children, Matthew, Stephen, and Jacob. Matthew is apprenticing to be an electrician. Stephen is apprenticing to be an agricultural equipment technician, and Jacob has aspirations to join his father and grandfather on the family farm. Paul is currently the mayor of Grey Highlands and has been for the last 8 years. Prior to that, he was the deputy mayor. Combined, he has 22 years of municipal experience. Paul has been the AMO representative since 2015 and was just recently re-elected in 2018. Paul represents AMO on the Minister of Education's reference group for public accommodation review guidelines. He is a commissioner on the Niagara Escarpment Commission and has been since 2011. So had 3 appointments from 2011 to 2015, 2015 to 2019, and currently 2019 to 2022. Paul was the AMO caucus chair from 2016 to 2018. He is a secretary and has been since 2013 on the Farm Safety Committee. Paul was the served as chair from 2016 to 2017 for the Planning Committee here at the county. He served a full 12-year term on the General and Marine Hospital board from 1995 to 2007. Paul's continued to be a strong advocate for both Beavercrest School, which they were able to save and will be rebuilt. Also for the Markdale Hospital, that's been it's been a long time, but I hear that the building permit has been applied for by Grey Bruce Regional Health Center, so that's a very positive thing for Grey County. Paul's also been a strong advocate for Grey Gables and for equitable access to long-term care throughout Grey County. So in closing, it is certainly my privilege, and I believe Paul has the work ethic, the experience to serve Grey County well for the 2020 Warden.
Good evening, Grey County Council, past wardens, county staff, and guests. I am honoured to second the nomination of Councillor McQueen, a leader, a mentor, and above all, a friend. My association with Paul goes to a time before I was involved in municipal politics. I was a director on the Grey Highlands Chamber of Commerce, and Paul was less than 2 years into his term as Deputy Mayor of Grey Highlands. We were on opposing sides of a number of sticking issues between the two organisations, but Paul's conflict resolution skills ensured that the conversation did not break down, despite strong personalities on both sides. The two organisations now share a very fruitful relationship. I have had the pleasure of having Paul as my mayor once I got into municipal politics. His leadership, mentorship, and friendship have been invaluable as I settled into my role, first as a councillor and then as the deputy mayor. During the time that I have known him, Paul has been involved in numerous matters of public interest. He took a leadership role in Grey Highlands' fight to save Beavercrest Community School from closure. He was also integral in the fight to keep Simcoe Road 91 open. 10 years since that issue first started, the road remains open today. Paul's abilities and charisma have been rewarded by his appointment to the NEC, as well as his election to the AMO board. While on AMO, Paul served as the chair of the County Caucus, a position that saw him be part of AMO's Memorandum of Understanding with the Government of Ontario. And last, but definitely not the least, I would be remiss if I did not mention Paul's involvement and leadership in saving Grey Gables. I end where I started. It has been a pleasure to serve with Paul on councils, and I am honoured to second his nomination for the position of Warden.
Thank you. I'd now like to call on Councillor Hicks to provide comments. It's so quiet.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And I want to thank my nominators, Councillors Boddy and Patterson. My time is really short, so I'm going to cut to the chase. I think that my credentials speak for themselves. I have a great educational training. I have great work experience. I have an outstanding political resume, and I have excellent people skills. Last, I have experience doing the job of warden successfully. With a Warden Hicks, you have someone who is going to hit the ground running. As a business owner and lawyer, I know that when I hire a new lawyer, I'm not going to get the best production in the first year. You have invested in me for 1 year, and in that time, I've been able to learn the landscape, build relationships, and gain experience on the various issues. It's time for you to get the best production out of me, an experienced, successful warden serving a second term. Until a few hours ago, I wasn't going to address an issue that I'm about to address. It's the big pink elephant in the room, long-term care, specifically Grey Gables. This council has made its position very clear on several occasions that we are requesting additional beds for Grey Gables. The application will be submitted on time, and the decision will rest with the province. Section 14.1 sub J of our procedural bylaw places a duty on the warden, quote, to represent and support council, declaring its will and implicitly obeying its decisions in all things, unquote. You all know my personal view, and like the rest of you, I'm entitled to express those views. However, I also have obligations as warden, and I must carefully balance those two interests. That said, a Warden Hicks will continue to comply with his duties pursuant to bylaw and support council decisions. Last term, I undertook two important initiatives. I visited operations in all corners of the county, and secondly, I toured each lower-tier municipality with the mayors and the CAOs. I learned a lot, and that learning will come in handy in my second term. If elected, I'll be doing two things. One, I will immediately schedule one-on-one meetings with each and every one of you to build relationships and to determine what you would like to see get accomplished over the next year. Second, I will also reach out to our provincial and federal representatives to schedule a minimum of 3 formal meetings each to build relationships and plan how we can work together to address important priorities for the people of Grey County. Those are my commitments to you, and I ask for your support to serve a second term as warden. Thank you. It's still quiet.
I'll ask Councillor McQueen to come up and provide comments.
The mic's on, right? Trying to break that silence, right? Good evening, everyone. And to start off with, I'd like to thank my nominators, Councillor Mackey and Councillor Desai. I much appreciated you putting that forward for me. I stand before you tonight asking for your support to be your warden of Grey County for 2020. I humbly put my name forward to be your warden after much thought and consideration. And after being encouraged by residents of Grey County, colleagues, leaders, and leaders who have previously served as wardens. Grey County runs deep in my veins. Cindy, my wife of 21 years, she and I have raised 3 sons, as mentioned before, Matthew, Stephen, and Jacob, in this community of Grey County on our 6th generation McQueen farm. My parents, Doug and Irene McQueen, who were planning to be here tonight but didn't make it, my mother's not feeling as well, lives on the farm adjacent to us where my dad still actively farms. Since the early, oh, somebody's got a phone, 25 bucks. Since the early 1990s, when I was first elected president of the Southeast Grey Junior Farmers Association, I felt a responsibility to step up and give back to my community and place I call home. In 1994, when I was first elected to municipal council in the Osprey Township, I had the opportunity to work with and learn the ropes from those who came before me. including my Reeve, John Young, and who had served as warden in 1977, and Al Bai of the former Derby Township, who also served as a Grey County warden in my first year of council. These men mentored and guided me through those years. I admired how they passionately worked with councillors and representatives from across the entire county to build a strong community. I stand before you tonight knowing that I have the same passion and commitment for Grey County that they had all those years ago. The role of a warden is an important one, and one that I believe I've been trained for since I was first elected to municipal government 25 years ago. I am currently serving my second term as mayor of Grey Highlands, served as deputy mayor and councillor, and have served on Grey County Council now in my third term. Over my years of public service, I've gained a broad range of experience in municipal and provincial leadership that will serve me well as your warden. Along with serving as chair of the county's planning committee, as mentioned before earlier today, I have been on the board of the Association of Members of Ontario, AMO, since 2015 and served as caucus chair, and have been on the executive committee that represents municipalities with the provincial government at Queen's Park, as well as serving on the Niagara Escarpment Commission since 2011, and I just got my third order of council. If I'm honored with your support this evening, it will be my first term as warden of Grey County. But I truly believe I've been representing the county for a lot of years. I am proud to have developed strong relationships with mayors and wardens across this province. I've worked closely with the chairs of both the Eastern and Western Wardens County Caucus at the AMO Association, and as time's gone on, I've seen over 3 different chairs from those caucuses. These relationships and my understanding of the complexities of municipal-provincial relationships will serve Grey County well. As we move into a new decade, we have an opportunity and a responsibility to work together to ensure we develop a forward-thinking vision for the county. During the next year, there will be important issues and opportunities that will be required to deal with, including finding solutions for attainable housing, one of the most pressing issues not only in Grey County, but across the entire province. Ensuring we position the county for a strong future through strategic economic and tourism development. Recognizing and supporting the development of Owen Sound's our largest urban center. Supporting a responsible approach to long-term care across the entire county. Working with council and staff to address the county's commitment to climate change and solutions. Providing accountability to the people we serve through informed decision-making and ensuring council and staff act with integrity and transparency. And perhaps, most importantly, working across municipal lines for a county-wide approach to solving problems and dealing with the issues by understanding the power of leveraging our political, staff, and financial resources for the greater collective impact. I am proud of my deep roots in this Grey County community and of my service to Grey County for the past 22 years. I am excited by what the future holds and truly believe that my strong leadership and experience will serve the county well in 2020. I respectfully ask for your support to provide that leadership as your warden. And I thank you.
Thank you. Each member of council has a ballot on their desk with a pen. You'll see 2 names beside those. complete your ballot, and I will be around with the ballot box. I'm going to ask Councillor Hicks, your scrutineer. Councillor Patterson. Councillor McQueen, your scrutineer. Okay, thank you, Councillor Swever. I'll ask the CAO and the two scrutineers to join me in the Heritage Room. We have a tie. I would invite the scrutineers to come up. In accordance with the procedural bylaw, each name is written on a piece of paper. Paul McQueen, Selwyn Hicks. There's nothing in the box.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to fold each paper up. CAO Wingrove, I'm going to ask you to come and draw the name. Your 2020 Warden, Councillor Paul McQueen. You are good. I will ask your nominators to present you to the front, sir. Okay, thank you. Okay, Councillor McQueen.
Has that ever happened before?
Not that I'm aware of.
We're always breaking history around here, aren't we?
I have your oath of office here, so I'll have you read that, and then we'll sign it.
Okay. I almost need a glass of water, but anyway. I, Paul McQueen, having been elected or appointed to the office of Warden, I guess I pulled out of the hat, of Warden, in the County of Grey, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received, will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance to the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, or do I have to say the other part? Okay. And I will make solemn promise and declaration conscientiously believing it is to be true and knowing it is of the same force and effect as made under oath.
So I'll have your signature right there.
We definitely use a Grey County pen around here.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Mr. Warden.
Thank you. I always get hugs. Hugs are cheap.
I'm going to call on Past Warden Hicks to come and present the chain of office.
Where's the better light? Over here?
Up front, actually.
Yes. No, it's the other way around.
A lot of weight on that shoulders.
Warden McQueen, I'm going to give you the gavel and ask you to assume the chair.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to hug my wife first.
There's one up here.
Never sat up here, so I'm not sure which chair to sit in. Okay. Well, Good evening, fellow county councilors, colleagues, family, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Please accept my sincere thanks for your confidence in electing me to the position of Grey County Warden. It is truly my honor to serve alongside my colleagues from across Grey County and to work with each of you to serve our residents and businesses. Again, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Scott Mackey and Akash Desai for nominating me for the role of Warden. Thanks again. I am so appreciative of the confidence in me and for your support. It is a privilege to serve the proud tradition of those who have come before me as Warden and who have represented the county with commitment and passion. Please know that I will do everything in my power to live up to this noble tradition, that I accept the role of your Warden with humility and pride. The definition of Grey County Warden is as follows. As the head of County Council, the Warden provides leadership to Council and represents the county at official functions, carries out the duties as described by the Municipal Act, and makes sure the decisions of this body are followed through, similar to what the Madam Clerk had said earlier on. While the Warden serves as the head of County Council, I recognize that I'm merely your representative. As we all know, the power of Council is the ability to work together, debate issues, bring forward solutions that will guide our communities in the future. Not all decisions are easy ones, but I believe we all recognize and respect the opinions of all our representatives across the 9 municipalities in Grey County. I truly value the skills, the opinions, the perspectives of all members who sit around this table. I believe my role as your Warden is to help facilitate respectful debate and then speak on behalf of the collective decision that we bring forward. Grey County is blessed with a robust economy, beautiful landscape, passionate community members, recreation and tourism opportunities that attract visitors from far and wide, and a lifestyle that makes this a wonderful place for families of all ages. By embracing a shared vision for 2020, working as County Council team and supported by our talented and innovative staff, we will be able to deliver impactful results for our constituents. I see 2020 as an opportunity for Grey County to find initiative and forward-thinking solutions for many of the issues that we are facing and that rural communities across this province are dealing with. During this term, I would like to see us find solutions for attainable housing across this county. With outward migration from the province's large urban centers, I believe Grey County will be positioned for unprecedented growth. Newcomers will be our future ratepayers and our future workforce. We need to ensure that we embrace their skills and ensure that we can live and build a life here in Grey County. We also need to find solutions for our aging populations, many of whom want to live and retire in a place that they call home for decades. I believe it is our responsibility to ensure that we do our best to provide affordable housing solutions so they don't have to leave their community and their family. Tourism and economic development go hand in hand. We have visitors who come from around the world to visit Georgian Bay shorelines, Blue Mountains, Beaver Valley, and other parts of Grey County. We have tremendous opportunity to embrace the economic impact these visitors have in our communities by finding ways to encourage increased visitor spending and tourism development in a way that is respectful of our values and our landscapes. Visitors who discover Grey County as a tourist often come back again and again, infusing money into our economy and often become future residents and business owners. Owen Sound, the county's largest urban center, is critical to our future. We need to support our city's growth by working collaboratively with their municipal council and respecting their contribution to the overall vibrancy of this entire county. Long-term care has been one of the key issues before County Council for a number of years. We've already started the process of rebuilding Rockwood Term Care Home in Durham as envisioned by Carol Lawrence. With the new Markdale Hospital being slated for construction beginning in 2020, and the application for 62 new beds for Grey Gables, which was the original location of the Grey County's House of Refuge, we have the opportunity to explore the possibility of developing a health campus that will leverage the county's commitment to long-term care. Humbly, I accept the role of Grey County Warden for 2020, following in the steps of those who have held this position before me, and I'm looking at them now. At this time, I ask you to join me in thanking the 2019 Grey County Warden, Selwyn Hicks, for his leadership and commitment over the last year. I am honored to follow in his footsteps and will be working with him closely as the Deputy Warden. At the end of the day, I truly believe that Grey County is greater than the sum of its parts. Individual gears work well on their own, but when they are connected, they generate tremendous power. The 9 municipalities in Grey County are some of the best examples of rural government in the province. When we come together at Grey County Council, we have an opportunity to work together and leverage all our resources for incredible collective impact. I challenge all of us to seize the opportunity that we have before us and recognize the importance of working together to come to meaningful solutions that will shape our future. I'm excited to serve as your warden and Grey County's ambassador and look forward to working with all my colleagues to capitalize on our potential to bring life our vision for 2020. Catch it? Vision 2020. I'll close my remarks with my deepest gratitude, humility, and appreciation for this honor, and I want to thank you again for the ability to serve. Okay, thank you. I'll be looking for a motion to adopt my address. Councillor Desai, Councillor Mackey. Any discussion on that? All in favor? That is carried. Any? Okay. So I need a motion to destroy the ballots. Councillor Woodbury? Okay, Councillor Keaveney? Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all in favor? That is carried. We know.
So now you're here too. You can thank your nominators. You can introduce your family.
Okay, thanks. At this time, I would like to take the opportunity to thank those that are here tonight in support of everybody, but especially in support of myself. And I'd like to start off with my wife Cindy, my sons Matthew, Stephen, and Jacob. My parents, Doug and Irene McQueen, had planned to be here, but they weren't able to make it this evening. My fellow Grey Highlands Councillor members, as you know, my Deputy Mayor, Akash Desai, Councillors Paul Allen, Councillors Tom Allwood, you guys can stand up, Councillor Little, Kathy Little, Councillor Dane Nielsen, and Councillor Danielle Valakat. Maybe Danielle's not here. So thank you again for my council. I also like to recognize some Grey Highlands staff people here tonight, and that's my CAO, Karen Mills. Thank you very much, Karen. And you might see her a lot more around here, maybe, I don't know. and members of our senior management team, we have Michael Brenner, Michelle Harris, everybody stand up, Herb Lemon, Raylene Martel, Sean Morier, Marty Wellwood, our fire chief, and Debbie Yep. I see there's most of them here. Thank you very much for coming. At this time, I'm going to throw a monkey wrench here. Can I have my CAO and my Madam Clerk please come up here? And maybe can you drag somebody up here along the way? Now, she's not being handcuffed. So they always say the woman behind the man is the more important part. So I'd like to present my wife a dozen of red roses.
No. Thank you.
She might say that's her first red dozen of roses. I don't know. Thank you for that. At this time, so are we going to introduce the speaker or introduce the overall?
We'll introduce the wardens and then Stuart.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to take the time at this special part of our can't even talk. The special time of our evening to certainly introduce our past wardens, the very important part, I guess they call it the Senate. The Senate with really little pay, I guess, but I would like to start off with Elwood Moore. Elwood, thank you for coming. And he was warden in 1964. That was a really good year. I didn't say anything about that, did I? Louis Yerstadt, 1982 warden. Bill Murdoch, 1987. And Dalton Becker, 1989, 1997, and 1998. Gerald Short, 1990. Howard Gregg, 1993 and 2000. And I know Rod had a really tough job in 2000. Rod Knott, 2001. And Rod was the first warden of the newly amalgamated municipality of Grey County. Bob Pringle, 2006 and 2007. Arlene Wright, 2010 and 2011. Duncan McKinley, 2012, 2013. And Stuart Halliday, 2018. So I understand, Mr. Halliday, you're going to be bringing some greetings.
Certainly is a pleasure. Are we on? We also have Brian Millen, a former past warden. Thank you for joining the circle. And former warden Selwyn Hicks, sorry. Thank you, Selwyn, for your good job last year, and luck of the draw, that's what it took. Anyhow, welcome to you, Warden McQueen. Now that's going to take a little while to get used to, and but on behalf of our 13 past wardens here tonight, I want to welcome you to the Horseshoe. It's a great honor. I remember sitting there last year feeling nervous, and we got over it. So anyhow, also I want to also say that we as the senators can offer you some advice if you seek our counsel. Also, Grey Corporation of Grey has now been, I think it's entering its 168th year, if my simple math is working. We have also, by my count today, we have 145, now 146 council members, all right, or council members that became warden, all right? So I think that's an exciting number. But I also want to bring out the fact that there has only been 2 female wardens, past wardens, and tonight they're here, and I want to introduce them. Lois Urquhart, Erstadt, and Arlene Wright. Please stand. Give them a hand. I see a few women around the horseshoe. Remember, we need your advice as well, so please. And may you have a great 2020. May you have great insight and integrity, and we look forward to working with you if need be. Thank you very much and welcome.
And thank you, Mr. Halliday, for bringing those greetings, and I'm going to change it to Our Vision 2020. So from there then, I want to extend the invitation for our reception afterwards to all the wardens that are here, including the ones around the horseshoe also, and also the ones that are here. And it's unfortunate that there weren't more wardens come, but everybody has a certain commitment, I guess, in that. But so again, certainly look forward to chatting with you all. And that's always the best time of this inaugural, that to have that time to have break the bread and have some drink and enjoy ourselves and chat about the past, and that's the important part. So is there any other business in front of County Council for this evening? If not, I need one more motion. Councillor Desai, Councillor Millen, that we adjourn. All in favor? That is carried.
And then you're going to be asking Jessica
Yes.
Stengel is at the back to sing us through O Canada.
Okay, so at this time, we are going to stand, and we're going to ask Jessica Stengel to sing O Canada at your leisure. Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Thanks, Jessica. So everybody enjoy the evening.